Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I'm honored to be having with me over the phone for tonight Ambassador Hazem Khairat, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for being with us on Nile TV International and the Daily Debate for tonight.
You're welcome, and it's my pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Of course, the main topic for tonight is the role of Egypt in the peacekeeping missions, and more generally the bilateral ties between Egypt and the United Nations ever since its inception. How do you see the importance of strengthening those bilateral ties and the current stance of Egypt at the United Nations and the contributions to the peacekeeping missions?
Well, first of all, this is a very important topic, especially these days.
Yes.
But let me tell you that the United Nations has a historical legacy spanning nearly 80 years of multilateral international work, to which Egypt has made pioneering contributions. In the three main areas of the United Nations work, maintaining international peace and security through peacekeeping and disarmament, economic development and environmental issues, and human rights and international social and humanitarian issues as well.
Yes.
Egypt was one of the first countries to join the United Nations. It ratified the United Nations Charter on October 22nd, 1945, and 2 days later it joined. It joined the UN on October 24, 1945. And also, let me say also that Egypt now, today, it hosts 38 United Nations offices, employing more than 2,300 staff, which Cairo serving as one of the organization's main headquarters. And of course, you know, I'm sure you know that Egypt has a permanent representative in the United Nations.
Yes.
In New York and in Geneva, in addition to sending permanent delegates to UN agencies in recognition of Egypt's role in the United Nations. And also, we all know about Dr. Boutros Ghali. Dr. Boutros Ghali was elected Secretary General of the United Nations in January 1992. So I think it is very rich, the relation between UN and Egypt is very, very, very rich. So I think that, for example, let's say that in regards to the contribution to the United Nations peacekeeping operation, Egypt is one of the largest countries that are participating in this efforts, driven by its belief in the importance of achieving collective security and supporting all goals set forth in the purposes of principles of the UN Charter. And by the way, Egypt participated in the first UN peacekeeping mission, of course, I'm not sure, but in 1960. Since then, it has contributed to a total of between 37 and 40 UN missions, with more than 30,000 peacekeepers deployed in 24 countries in Africa, Europe, Asia, and Latin America. So I think that it needs a long time to talk about this tremendous relation between the two bodies, Egypt as a country and the United Nations as an organization.
Yes, Ambassador Hazem Khairat, turning to the events that took place today and the main top stories that we have mentioned at the beginning of the episode for the Daily Debate for tonight. We have seen today President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in contact with the French President Emmanuel Macron, and the presidential spokesman said that this will be leading to better bilateral relations between Egypt and France, especially in light of the last visit by the French President to Egypt. How do you see the prospects of strengthening the bilateral ties between Egypt and France?
Well, I think that the last visit of President Macron to Egypt was very successful, and it was really clear for everyone. And also, to be frank with you, the position of President Macron towards what's taking place in Gaza is a breakthrough, and it's something really deserves to be respected. So I think that and on the hand, of course, on the other side, the relation, the military relation, and the diplomatic relation, and the different other economic relations, different fields. So I think the relation between the two countries is extremely important, and we are looking forward for more progress in this respect.
Yes, and we did see, of course, between the two presidents, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the French President Emmanuel Macron, discussions regarding the developments in the Gaza Strip. In your opinion, how do you see the current developments in the Gaza Strip and the efforts of Egypt, the United States and Qatar to be reaching a truce or as a ceasefire or a permanent ceasefire between Hamas and the Israeli occupation forces? How do you see the efforts of Egypt and the progress of those talks and developments?
So we have I'll tell you something. We have to differentiate between what Egypt is doing. Egypt is doing a tremendous effort since the beginning of this crisis, the war, and with the Qataris, with the United States. But the problem is, it's always. I'm saying this because I have an experience, and my capacity as a previous ambassador to Egypt and Israel. This white, extreme white, or what you say, the radical white government that is ruling Israel, I don't have any hope that they will reach peace, or at least a fair solution. They will continue this war. The only thing is that the United States, or the only solution that can be done, is that the United States should make more effort to put pressure on Israel to accept this truce or this ceasefire, because, as I told you, but the problem is also that the United States position, I don't know if it is biased to Israel. Of course, everyone understands that biased to Israel, because now they are putting the responsibility on the Palestinians or in Hamas, that they are putting obstacles. This is what I'm afraid of, that at the end, Israel will continue bombarding Gaza and will say that Hamas is responsible for this. This is what I'm afraid of. And also we have to understand that Netanyahu himself personally, he doesn't want this war to end, because he knows the results. He knows that after he leaves, after this war, he will go to prison. Definitely. So he wants he doesn't want to end his political life. So this is my vision. But of course, I'm sorry that it's not a little bit pessimistic, but this is what I'm doing. But of course, at the end, Egypt will continue. Egypt has a very efficient diplomacy in dealing with these issues, and we hope that we will reach something. Let's be optimistic.
Yes, hopefully the optimism could be reaching to tangible solutions on the ground. On the other hand, today we have seen a meeting between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. They discussed as well during the meeting ways of escalating and strengthening the bilateral ties between Egypt and Iran. How do you see the prospects of this development? Well,
we have to wait and see. I think that the Iranians, they are more enthusiastic to normalize the relation with Egypt. And Egypt, of course, Egypt considers Iran is an important country in the region. So if they have a good intention, and I think that the relation, or there will be some progress. But of course, we want to see what they're saying turns to deeds. And there are still some files that need some work. The file, and also the intention of Iran, especially in intervening in its relation, or intervening in the internal affairs of the Arab countries or some Arab countries. and their friends who are making a kind of instability in the region. So we want to see some good things, and this will, I'm sure, will be reflected in a positive relation between Iran and Egypt.
Yes, Ambassador Hazem Khairat, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Yes, please. Sorry, I think we lost you. Ambassador Hazem Khairat, the former Assistant Foreign Minister. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Please take your time. Take your time.
I just want to in regards to the United Nations, I did want also to add something which is extremely important.
Yes.
That we always express our concern of UN Security Council membership and the veto power of its permanent members. We oppose this step, which would not help build the trust necessary for the success of the new world order. And Egypt is doing a tremendous effort in this field. Egypt is working hard to reform the international peace and security system, particularly in the United Nations Security Council. Security Council reform is one of the fundamental and important pillars of developing the United Nations system as a whole. Without genuine reform of the Council and expansion of its membership, international governance will remain deficient and limited in its impact. So
yes, Ambassador Hazem Khairat, the former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and the Daily Debate. We will be heading to the other report of the program for tonight, the role of Egypt in the UN peacekeeping missions all over the world. We will be having more details in the upcoming reports, so stay tuned.